you said you've worked with a lot of agents in the past. So, I mean, have you picked up anything both good and also bad as well that you want to avoid, some traits or some agents that you've ran into the past where you might have a good experience, or sometimes you have like a bad experience that you really want to avoid that has affected you now being an agent as well?
Well, as salespeople, we become, a lot of them, or a lot of us become desensitized, in terms of I'm making a sale, like I'm just another car salesman that did a transaction and that was it. He left driving, um, and don't provide that personal touch. Everybody, what is it? How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Always remember their name, remember their spouse's name, significant other, kids. Sometimes it's funny that you call them a year after you sold them a house and you're like, hey, listen, today's been a year since you moved in, and they're like, oh shoot, so it sounds like you're somebody that cares, and you actually care. I've worked with agents before that they're success, and I'm not talking about people that are not successful necessarily. I've talked to agents before that in the first minute they're like, okay, what do you want to get? How much are you approved for? And they become so much involved with just the numbers. Are you a serious buyer, or are you just shopping around? Listen, just give me a few minutes. Some of them don't even call you back. Especially in this last few months where, houses were getting 3, 5, 10, 15 offers. Sometimes the agents don't even have the courtesy of calling back. You should always, call back, at least send a text, talk to somebody. You never know when that one contact is going to bring you 2, 4, 10 referrals over the years. So treat people like people. Don't just think about people like a number.
Right.
I think that's one of the biggest things. I try to make it a relationship issue. Just call, say hi. Hey, I'm always here. If you need me for anything, just send me a text or give me a call. You got my personal number, man. This is not a business or office number. You got my cell. So text me and I'll see how I can help. If I can't, I can't, but I guarantee you I'll try. So my main thing is that's as I'm looking at it as an investor, that's one of my pet peeves. They don't know how much money I have. They don't know how much I'm looking to invest. I might look like a simple person, but you know what? That might be the biggest deal they do that month or that year. So, treat everyone with respect and pay attention.
Right. I love that. I mean, and then also just treating people the way that you want to be treated as well. So you've been in their shoes, you know exactly how, an investor might feel or a buyer might feel, when an agent just comes on it and starts treating him like a number. So I love that you have made this relationship thing, and the example that you brought up as well, where, you never know when, responding to a call on a listing or responding to an offer just with courtesy can lead to better things down the line. And I believe you have some examples just on the investor side where you have worked with other agents in the past and you were able to offer them the courtesy and build that relationship. And in the future, it was able to yield you some rewards, right, on some of your investments and just getting into some deals, right? So maybe you can share a story or an example of, how that happened, or some of the things that you were able to do and actually get rewarded for it on the back end as an investor.
I kept in touch. I used my same real estate agent in Texas since 1994, 28 years. He held my hand through my first buy, which was that duplex. He wasn't even a buyer's agent. He was a seller's agent. I didn't know anything about the difference, and he held my hand through the process, me being 21 years old. And he said, you should do this, you shouldn't do that, you should get an inspection, this, that, and the other. And so I'm not using myself, I'm using him as an example. He was completely honest. He treated me with respect, even though I was a 21-year-old, with not much money and barely spoke English. Uh, and he taught me that your word is a bond. You know, if he said, "Hey, Ed, I'm gonna be here this and that day," he was always there. If I had a question, I grabbed my phone, called him. He would always answer the phone. He was many times. He told me, "Ed, don't buy that investment property. You know, listen, I'm not gonna give you the whole story. Just don't buy that one." You know, and I learned to trust him, and I didn't buy that one. On the other hand, there was some that I, you know, wanted to buy, went and bought. And even though he wasn't even involved in the deal, I got him involved in the deal so he would get paid. You know, I bought a brand new home one time, had a home built in Texas, and I could have just gone to the, to the project and signed a little bit of paperwork and bought my own home without an agent.